My name is Stan Penfold. I am the I'm the council representative for District 3, which is where we're standing now. I'm so honored and thrilled to be here with you this morning. We're going to start our program. I'd like to introduce Dr. Paul Sagers he is the principal at West High. Dr. Sagers.
Before I introduce, I do want to just say that what a glorious day. I mean, we couldn't have picked a better day. You couldn't have scripted this event any better than we did. And I think we ought to everybody knows Safi. I think we just need to thank Safi for all the work that he's done throughout this. He started with us at West High. He was almost the first person that I met, and we've been planning this over a year, and he's been very instrumental in getting us together and planning. But I just want to, before I introduce again, just let you know, if we were to build anything, if we were to make any improvement in this community, this was the one to do. I mean, to build a library where our students could go and engage, and a place to go where actually learning is being promoted. So I am so thrilled at this for the community, the Marmalade community, but selfishly I have to say I'm extremely thrilled just for West High. We've already developed and articulated partnerships for ACT, testing, for all sorts of things that are going to benefit the students over at East. So, without West, did I say East? Yeah, I did that on purpose so I could do that. At West, what's a panther, right? Yeah, okay. So now let me introduce Ben Ezek, who's our cadet commander of the NJROTC color guard. He's going to be doing the color guard. And then Melinda Benson, one of our best hires ever. We hired her this year. She's going to be conducting our a cappella, or performing a cappella. So thank you, and I apologize for that mistake. Forgive me. Thank you.
Color guard, please, set, colors.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched, through so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready, cut. Left wheel, march. Detail, halt. Right, haste. Forward, march.
Thank you, West High. Please be seated. I think we're going to give Dr. Sager some real grief about. He got your attention, so that's important. It's such an honor to have you all here. Welcome to the new Marmalade Library. We are incredibly honored to have our first speaker, who has joined us this morning to open, or to help us open this ceremony. Please welcome Mayor Jackie Biskupski.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Penfold and West High, for those wonderful performances and introduction. I am happy to be here today, opening this beautiful space. I had the pleasure of getting a tour of the Marmalade Library last week, and I am so impressed with the thoughtful design of the building. This will truly become a gem for Salt Lake City Public Library System, the Marmalade neighborhood, and our entire city. Libraries are places for our democracy and for open society to exist. They are required to be so much more than simply repositories of knowledge. They are town squares, schools, galleries, and places of refuge. This new place will undoubtedly become a space where the community comes together. This will be a space where students from surrounding schools like West High come when class is over. It will become an office space for entrepreneurs to nurture and grow their ideas and businesses. It will become a living room for families, and with the great Mocha Cafe, a hangout spot for you and your friends. And most importantly, it will be a space that helps bridge the digital, social, and physical divide in our city. The new Marmalade Branch will be run by a team who understands the unique place this building has in our community. During my preview tour, I met Safi, who will be the new manager of this branch. Safi is aware that I-15, which sits just a few blocks west of this spectacular building, serves as a barrier for access to all this building can be. He is already working on ways to bridge that gap and bring the community together under this roof. And Safi, you will always have my office complete support in your endeavor. That's right. With this library as an anchor, this neighborhood is destined to become a new bright spot in Salt Lake City. For everyone, this building already is, and for everything it will become for our community, I want to extend my deepest thanks to the RDA, the talented designers, architects, and construction teams who worked on the building, the IT professionals who ensured it was wired for the future, and of course, the Salt Lake City Library for having the vision to bring this building to life. Thank you all for coming today, and to my son, who is wanting to be a part of this today. I know he and I will spend time together, and hopefully we'll have some story time up on the second floor and first floor today. So thank you again for being here.
Good morning. This is a beautiful day, isn't it? I feel like I probably should have brought my sunscreen. I'm a redhead and I burn really easily. But my name is Derek Kitchen, and I serve on Salt Lake City Council representing District 4, which is downtown, and the area is just below the University of Utah. And today I'm here as the Vice Chair of the Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake City. As many of you may know, this development has been a long time in the making. And I'm so proud to stand here in front of such a beautiful structure that will anchor this entire RDA project area. And it will really, truly be a catalyst for high quality urban neighborhood development here in the Marmalade. But it will do more than just spur new development in the neighborhood. The effects of this kind of walkable, community-oriented project will ripple through the neighborhood in so many ways. We really see this block in the Marmalade as a cornerstone in our efforts to reinvigorate and reinvest in the West Capitol Hill project area, which began back in 1996. And before I forget, I'd like to draw your attention to the student art wall back here. This was a partnership between the Redevelopment Agency and the Salt Lake City School District. We had 9 schools participate, and the schools are Benyon, Washington, Rose Park, Bonneville, Ensign, Beacon Heights, and Newman Elementary Schools. And we have students from West and East High participating as well. If we could give them a round of applause. As the RDA board, our mission is to invest in an area's infrastructure, facilitate the redevelopment of underutilized property, and provide incentives for reinvestment in neighborhoods. We have acquired here in the Marmalade properties for renovation. We have reinvested in streets, lighting, curbs, and sidewalks. And as of today, we have completed a project that will illustrate the quality of our investments to the residents and community members here in the Marmalade neighborhood. After a robust public engagement process, we learned from the residents of the Marmalade that they needed a civic and retail center for their neighborhood. We also learned that there is a strong desire for public open space that would accommodate public gatherings like community concerts and farmers markets and the such. We began, so with all of that information, the market research in our back pocket, we got to work. We mapped out the block. We began to improve the infrastructure and utilities. So far, we've invested about $1.3 million. And we built community partnerships to accomplish the larger goals of the project. And in my opinion, there's no better partner than our very own Salt Lake City Library system. It's quite amazing that in this day and age, when so much of our life is migrating to online and digital platforms, that we can make an investment and build a library like this. And I believe it's because a library offers something so unique and essential. It's an essential service to our community that can't easily be replaced. As author Neil Gaiman once said, Google can bring you back 10,000 answers. A librarian will bring you back, however, the right one. And that's true. This library is an anchor for this neighborhood. It's a safe and reliable place for residents, young and more experienced, to continue their lifelong journey of learning. This is going to be a gathering place for the entire community. And now that we've completed the first element of this major reinvestment project, we have some exciting new developments just on the horizon. In the coming few years, we'll see 12 townhomes right over here on Arctic Court, over 250 individual residential units just behind me. We'll see neighborhood scale retail, including a corner market and a locally owned restaurant, as well as nearly 2 acres of public open space. Yeah. Upon completion, the Marmalade block here will be a shining example of thoughtful urban development designed with the community, the pedestrian, and the historical neighborhood context in mind. On behalf of the Redevelopment Agency, I'd like to say that we are so proud to be able to do this kind of important placemaking work and to be leaders for quality, community-oriented development in our growing city. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Derek. It's my pleasure and great honor now to introduce someone who has been a little stressed this week, actually. It's the person I think primarily responsible for us being able to be here today with scissors in hand to cut a ribbon to open this building. Please welcome Acting Director of the Library, Deborah Airman.
Yes, as I I almost knocked down the sign that said, "Welcome to the Marmalade Library." Anyway, it's such a joy to see so many people here from the neighborhood and Salt Lake City at this grand opening of the Marmalade Branch. A project as momentous as this doesn't come together without the tireless work of so many people. And I'd like to quickly offer our thanks to several people and groups who helped make this happen through gathering community input and constructing this library as an anchor in the Marmalade Library. So bear with me for a few minutes because it's quite the list. So I want to thank Mayor Jackie Biskupski, former Mayor Ralph Becker, Council Member Stan Penfold, the entire City Council, the Library Board of Directors, thank you so much, and the Capitol Hill Community Council, thank you for all of your unwavering support. Thank you to the Marmalade Steering and Technical Committees and to Mocha Systems for holding the reins of this project. Thank you to the team from Blaylock and Partners, our architects, especially Kevin Blaylock and Chad Parker, who took the community's needs and desires and transformed them into this really beautiful building. Thank you, Kevin and Chad and everybody else at Blaylock. Thank you to the RDA for engaging with the Marmalade community and capturing their vision to inform the future of this site. Thank you to Ascent Construction, especially the team of Dallas Knowlton, Kelly Rasmussen, James Taylor, and Brad Flint. Thank you, guys. CRSA, who worked with Ascent as well as the RDA on all the plaza and surrounding landscape for the building. Hendrickson Butler, who worked with us on our furnishings. Space Savers, who worked with us on our shelving. Alpine Art for helping us bring the building to life inside and out. Thank you to Sean Fife and Salt Lake City Engineering and the city's Information Management Services Group for ensuring that the building is ready to stand the test of time. Thank you to Ronnie Thomas and the committee from the Salt Lake City Arts Council for helping us select the public artwork by Day Christensen, which isn't on site yet. It's going to be a very gigantic, beautifully fabricated metal apricot that will be at the entrance, the west entrance of the plaza, once this plaza is developed further along in the construction project. And thank you to the artists whose work is now part of the City Library's permanent collection, Justin Wheatley and Lee Defabach. I only have a couple more. Thank you to the Utah State Historical Society for providing the historical map image that you'll find inside the building right across from the first floor elevators. And thank you to the Mundi Project that donated a baby grand piano that will be here later in the spring that will live in our multi-purpose room on the second floor. But last but not least, we turn this library over to our smart, caring, and capable staff of the City Library, including Assistant Director of Neighborhood Services, Patty Steed, and the entire executive leadership team. I'd like to now introduce Safi Safiullah, who you all well know, who is the manager of the branch, Marmalade Branch Library.
Good morning. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie spent, the days and nights to look at each and every area of the building. I just want to let all of you know that what you see today, Debbie spent countless time to bring this building to this level. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the grand opening of the Marmalade Library. On behalf of my staff, who are standing here behind me, I welcome you to come and use this library. The Marmalade Library is a new building located in a historic neighborhood. The building's innovative design and modern elements represent fresh fruits growing from the trees that have taken root and flourished in this neighborhood. The library will spark greater knowledge and lighten the lives of seniors, adults, youth, and children. The Salt Lake City Public Library is leading the nation in innovating 21st century libraries. We believe in providing excellent customer service, reaching out to the community, We are known as one of the 5-star libraries in the nation. Here at Marmalade, we are all well-trained and resourceful and ready to serve this community. I take my job seriously. I promise I will not put you down. As you enter the building, you will discover many new features. In addition to our updated printed and electronic materials, we now have an idea lab and expanded community spaces. Another feature is the beautiful cafe. It's called Mocha. The young Ryan can offer you a delicious cup of coffee and various kinds of drinks with a smile. I'd like to thank everyone who has involved in building this library, everyone who incepted, oversaw, funded, designed, constructed, furnished, shelved, cleaned, put the computer on the table, maintain the Marmalade Library. On behalf of my staff, I share you for your courage and support. Without your dedication and encouragement, the Marmalade Library would not be standing here today. Thank you all. Now, I would like to introduce a special friend of mine, Donna Moyes, the director of the Utah State Library Division. I consider Donna to be the guardian of the libraries in the state of Utah. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you very much. I agree with Safi. I really do feel like the guardian of libraries in the state of Utah. First of all, I want to congratulate all of those who've been particularly involved in this project. And one of the groups that I would like to ask to stand would be the library board. Because I'd like you folks who are on this library board, Salt Lake City Public Library, to stand up so we can recognize who you are. No? Yes! And former board members as well. Former public library board members, please. This has been a day of thanking people for all of their roles in developing this particular public library. This is really your living room. This is your community center. This is the place where we hope and we are sure that this neighborhood will come together. You have some marvelous spaces available to you. You have some marvelous resources. You have some marvelous people who will be guides and people who will be resources. Safi and his staff are expertly trained to be 21st century resource guides. They're going to help you navigate that big world of Google, that big world of all kinds of information, and yet find the book you want to read. So that's a lot of diversity and a lot of things we're requiring of people that work in libraries. It's a lot of expertise. I know that sometimes you will help them learn. And we hope that's an exchange. We know that's an exchange between the people who use libraries and the people who work in libraries. This is definitely your library. I'm pleased to see so many people here today. Your support of this library makes a great deal of difference. I believe that the various people who've worked on this library have really been thanked today, but I also need to join others in thanking Debbie Airman, who is the acting director of the library district, for all of her leadership, because this has been a project that, as has been said, every time I see Debbie, she's just coming from this library. She's been, as has been mentioned, she's been here in the morning, the afternoon, the night, the late night. So we really owe a big debt of thanks to Debbie. And we owe a great deal of thanks to the City of Salt Lake because you're investing in institutions that will make this community a bright, shining star forever. So we thank the mayor and we thank all of the city officials. The people I want to thank the most, though, are all of you for coming today because your interest, your support in this library will make it shine. There are all kinds of statistics that prove that Utah citizens use our public libraries. We rank second per capita in the United States as far as visits to public libraries, people going inside libraries and using them. We rank very high in the nation as far as the number of youth materials that are checked out per capita. We really do use these public libraries, so I congratulate you and I invite you to use your community center, make that whatever you want it to be. It is a facade right now. It's going to become a community as you use this building. And you have a good chance to help shape the future of this library. So be sure you express what you need, tell them what you love, tell them what you need that may not be there, and try to help some of those things come to fruition. So I challenge you to enjoy.
It's almost warm out here. I love this neighborhood. It's one of the first settled when people moved into this valley, and they built homes and they built gardens and they planted fruit trees. This neighborhood has great history and great bones. I love this neighborhood. It is resilient. It has survived ups and downs and threats and neglect. And here it is back again. I love this neighborhood for the people who live here. They are diverse, and they are quirky, and they are tenacious, and they love it here. And I love the Salt Lake City Library. How fortunate are we to have one of the finest library systems in the country and perhaps the world. Thank you, Salt Lake City Library. More than 10 years ago, the people of the Marmalade and the people of the library came together for the neighborhood. And that is how we got here today, on the grounds of this amazing building in this incredible neighborhood. We cannot begin to thank all the people who made this happen. The neighbors who originally identified the need and the desire, who then worked with the library to create a vision. And then they both partnered with the redevelopment agency of Salt Lake City to find a location and build an absolutely amazing community gathering space. There are so many people who brought us to where we are today. Thank you all. I am so proud to be part of this community. I am so proud to represent this community. I am so proud of the people who live here. I am so proud of the Salt Lake City Library. Coming together, you have all created an incredibly wonderful gathering place. Welcome to the Marmalade Branch of the Salt Lake City Library. Welcome to the neighborhood.